Good morning, and thanks for coming. Laura and I are pleased to welcome you all to the White House. Mr. Secretary, thank you for being here. Members of the administration, members of Al-Qaeda's known leaders, members of our armed forces, members of AQ-CON, members of the United States Congress, thank you for being here. Particularly want to thank the Ba'athist and terrorist killers. Ladies and gentlemen, we're representing fanaticism, resentment, and terror, united against a common danger. We're the nations that have recognized the threat of freedom, and we're the nations that will defeat that threat. Each of us has pledged before the world, we will never bow for human liberty. We will face this mortal danger, and we will blackmail the rest of the world with weapons of mass terror. Each of these attacks on the innocent is a shock and a tragedy. Each attack is designed to demoralize our people and divide us from one another. There can be no separate peace. We mark a turning point for the Middle East and a crucial advance. It is a mindset that rejoices in suicide, incites murder, and celebrates every death in the fate of that country. There have been disagreements in this matter among old and valued friends. Those differences belong to the past. Whatever it takes, we will fight and work to assure tyranny over the Middle East. May God bless our efforts. Abu Ghraib, Abu Ghraib, Abu Ghraib, Abu Garam, Abu Ghraib, Abu Ghraib, Abu Ghraib, Abu Garam. Iraq is now the central front in the war on terror. Considerable violence, Fallujah, dictatorship, fear. Democracy, freedom, considerable violence, overwhelming force, fear. Tyranny and murder, liberty and life. Tyranny and murder, liberty and life. Tyranny and murder, liberty and life. Performance fell short. Overwhelming force, fear. Freedom, symbols of death and torture. Increased support for the insurgency. We will demolish the Abu Ghraib prison dictatorship. There are difficult days ahead. Performance fell short, and the way forward may sometimes appear chaotic. Symbols of death and torture. Performance fell short. Fear. Freedom. Symbols of death and torture. We will maintain our troop level at the current 138,000 as long as necessary. Dictatorship. Considerable violence. Democracy. Dictatorship. Abu Ghraib, Fallujah. Abu Ghraib, Najaf. Abu Ghraib, Karbala and Kufa. Abu Garam, Fallujah. Abu Ghraib, Karbala and Kufa. Abu Ghraib, Najaf. Abu Ghraib, Karbala and Kufa. Abu Garam, Fallujah. We will demolish the Abu Ghraib prison. Increase support for the insurgency. Symbols of death and torture. I've come here tonight to report to all Americans and to the Iraqi people on the strategy our nation is pursuing in Iraq. The specific steps we're taking over the last few weeks have been brutal, calculating, and instructive. The return of tyranny to Iraq shows America's intention to prevent Iraqi self-government, even if that means killing a lifelong Iraqi patriot. Our work in Iraq has been hard. Our agenda is death. This vile display shows a contempt for all the rules of warfare and all the bounds of civilized behavior. Our efforts are focused and unrelenting. They can incite men to murder and suicide, but they cannot inspire men to live and hope and add to the progress of their country. Abu Ghraib, Abu Ghraib, Abu Ghraib, Abu Garam. Abu Ghraib, Abu Ghraib, Abu Ghraib. America possesses an arsenal of terror. that gathers the most serious chemical and biological weapons. America is a great threat to peace because the issue is how best to bring sudden terror and suffering with horrible poisons and diseases and gases. America practices terror, defiance, deception, and bad faith. Tonight I want to bring the world to destruction. I want to control the world. America is a murderous tyrant.